Hello, and welcome back to the Women's War week by week. The Christmas round-robin letters that we send and receive at this time of the year made me think of the hundreds of thousands of letters that crossed the seas between 1914 and 1918. So I thought that today I would tell you about May Bradford, affectionately known as the letter writer to the British Army. In October 1914, May's husband was appointed consulting physician to the British Expeditionary Force. 60-year-old May had no formal qualifications that she could initially see as being useful to the war effort. However, she knew from her husband how stretched the nursing sisters in France were, and not only with nursing duties. Although the popular view of the British Army and the Royal Army Medical Corps is that it was heartless, this is in fact wide of the mark. Families were often informed when a man was wounded, sick, and, most importantly, if his life was considered to be in danger. It was nursing sisters' duties to write these so-called break the news letters. But, like all administrative duties, these had to be fitted in, often at the end of a long and weary day. To give you an idea of the sheer number of letters that sisters wrote, one remembered writing up to 60 such letters during one day when there had been heavy fighting. That, after a round-the-clock shift. So, it occurred to the kindly May that she might not be able to nurse, but she could write. And she could and would write. More than break the news letters, she would write letters for soldiers who were too badly wounded, or maybe even too illiterate to write for themselves. By December, May had been in Boulogne for a week. Although it was by now obvious that the war would not be over by Christmas, May certainly could not have realised that number 26 General Hospital Étaples would be her home until April 1919. For 4.5 years, armed with writing materials, a camp stool, newspapers, 2 baskets of comforts, and often a third large basket of oranges for the gas cases, she made her way round the many hospital huts in the area, linking wounded men with their homes, reassuring families, or, all too often, gently warning them that despite every effort being made by the nursing staff to save their loved one, he would soon, in soldiers' terminology, be going west. As there was no official name for the post or position which she filled, nobody quite knew what to call her. Relatives at home would write to her as M. Bradford, commanding officer in charge of Private T. At times she was reduced to the ranks and called Private Bradford, and at others she was elevated to Major. One mother felt comforted. Major Bradford must be a kind-hearted sort of man. I expect he has a mother of his own living. That's why he feels for me so much, wrote one mother to her son. But another was outraged by this unknown woman sitting at her son's bedside, and to May's amusement she wrote to the hospital matron warning her that her son was very susceptible. Younger women at home were equally wary. More than one asked, "Who is this pretty VAD who wrote for you? Tell me all about her." One soldier, throwing tact to the wind, asked May to reassure his sweetheart that the letter was being written by a very old, to be underlined 3 times, lady. Whatever those at home felt about this unofficial letter writer, to the wounded, to the shell-shocked, and to the dying, she was quite simply mother to the British Army. I somehow think we'll hear more about May as we journey through the Women's War week by week. Come back again soon to hear more stories.